I got the stuff to replace the whole window, which I'm going to sew in the canvas and then cut out that hole. I have tried to replace it and patch it up with canvas tape or canvas patch, and it did not work. So I came up with I actually came across a video on YouTube. So I bought some canvas material at Walmart and I am going to sew it up. And okay, so today is cutting and sewing day. So I went ahead and I'm gonna cut a pattern of that window, and I got some brown paper at the Dollar Tree. So what I did was, since I'm gonna cut the material behind it out, I went ahead and put the safety pins to the zipper above right there. But when I sew it, I'm actually gonna sew it to the zipper below. So I'm just accounting for the folds, because when I get down here, I'm going to sew it and the lip inside the screen side. So that way I have enough room for the folds everywhere else. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab the scissors and I'm going to trim it all the way around following the zipper line, and then I'll use this pattern to cut my canvas material that I bought at Walmart. Okay, so here we have the pattern cut out all the way to the line that I want it. So now I'm going to take it off the window and cut the material and patiently sew this canvas material. I'm going to show you in a second. I know it's a little bit too bright, but I want you to see what I was able to find at Walmart. So this is the original canvas. This is the other window. Okay, so originally I was going to put some painter's canvas together, but here is the canvas that I got at Walmart, which is barely any like difference at all. So it's really nice and thick. It was almost $7 a yard. So there was like 2.25 yards left on the roll. So it's 45 wide. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it. And like I said, this is nice and thick. And sew it in there to the seam of the bottom of the zipper. And after that, I'm not cutting out the screen or anything like that. It's just the inside. So all the folds are going to be looking just like that one right there. So this is the inside part of the zipper. So I cut it through this outside part of the zipper. So when I do my folds like this, it'll be towards the inside, but I'm going to try to do something a little bit neater than this. So okay, so today's the big day, and it's taking me forever, and you guys have seen that hole too many times, but I already done cut my material. So I'm going to take my pins out, and I'm going to paint my material up here. I'm going to be daring and cut all that out, and sit here patiently and sew it up. And I'll be back later on, hopefully with good results. If not, I'll be crying my eyes out. Okay, so my canvas is pinned up, but I made a little mistake. So I pinned it all the way to the outside, but I really wanted to fold it in, but it's gonna be a little bit difficult to fold the inseam on the side of the zipper. So I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting the original canvas, but I'm going to cut along the seam around here, but I'm gonna leave part of the original canvas, but I'm going to zip this up onto this material that I have hanging in here, and I will pin it to the zipper, and so that way I know that it's going to be fitting perfect. But I love this material that I found at Walmart. There's basically no difference from the thickness of the canvas and the thickness of the material. So I'll see you back in a bit. Okay, like I said earlier, I'm just going to cut along the zipper line. So I'm going to show you what exactly I'm doing. I'm not cutting the inseam, I mean the canvas. I'm just going to get the canvas out. And my material again, so this corner here is going to be shoved all the way down here like so, so it'll be sewn to the edge right there inside of the screen. Now I'm not a professional, I saw this lady do something similar to this, but I'm just, I guess, beefing it up like they say. Anyway, so I'll be back after I have it all pinned up again, and I'll show you how I'm gonna sew it. Bye. Okay, so here I want to show you that I'm actually this is dry already anyway, but I want to show you how I'm taking the bottom part out. Like I said, I'm gonna stitch it to this part here. Right there, so that's going to be very tough, so I'm going to use a curved needle, so this is not going to touch the screen at all. It's just going to take a lot of patience, but I'm using an X-Acto knife, and I'm just going along the edges to cut that out like so. Like I said, this material is really dry water. That's how I ended up with that hole in it as I was pulling it. So just make sure that you don't cut your canvas. So that's what I wanted to show you on this side. Catch you later. Okay, so this is all the work for me tonight. Everything is pinned up, so window is ready to get sewn, and so here is looking out to the side of the zipper where I had cut the material on the other side. So I'm just gonna sew it in this pattern with a loop in between, and each loop and one in the middle, then down here, so I will sew the edges first, and then I will sew this end last. So I'm calling it in for tonight. My back is killing me, and my fingers are very sore. If I was a diabetic, it probably wouldn't have been that bad, but I'm not a diabetic. I have fibromyalgia, and it hurts worse than a needle for a diabetic. So I don't think I feel like a porcupine, a pig cushion. So, all right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Okay, I don't know if the quality of the video is going to be really good, but I have pinned my material backwards. Like I said, I don't sew much, I just have an idea, and so I fixed it the way it's supposed to be. Like, this part is supposed to go towards the outside, and the screen covers it up. So I am sewing that part now, and so I'm just going through the existing holes from the sewing line from the other material. But since I left the other material there, when I flip it open to the other side where it's gonna go in the window, it has some of this stuff, but it'll be okay. So see, this is already all sewn, so I guess I just have to come back and trim it. I don't know, I'm OCD about those things. So I just wanted to show you where I'm at. It's been like 5 days I couldn't come to the camper because somehow my back was really bad and I couldn't hardly move. So I'm just doing a little bit today, and tomorrow is physical therapy, so we'll see how I get out of there. So I'm just doing this like a loop stitch, but so just like that. And when I get done, I'm just gonna put that a fabric glue thing all over it, like in the seams, to seal it, and then I'm gonna waterproof it. I have a tarp on this side already. It's kind of been storming today and last night, so the camper's nice and dry. So anyway, as I go, I'll give you some more scenes, I guess, of how things are going, and hopefully this will not look crooked. So wish me luck. Bye. Okay guys, I think my window is finally done. So what I decided to do was went ahead and used some Gorilla Glue for fabric and things like that. I decided not to stitch it, so I used two different glues. One a fabric glue, and behind that I went ahead and used a Gorilla Glue. So this is the side that is supposed to that I was supposed to stitch together. So when you hang it up, zip it up, it's supposed to look like this. So I just waterproofed it. So this is a canvas, so waterproof, and then over here I got a safety pin up right there, just glue that up, and that's just going along that I could zip it up right there because it's pants, so it's not going to go anywhere. And I'll show you what that looks like in a second. Okay, so here is the window, totally closed. Those are not stains, it's my LED light. It's got some signs in it. So here it is. Use some Gorilla Glue for crafts, and they sell it in the craft department. And I also use another fabric. But it's like low sew something. There it is. So I'll show you the before and after.